Hello, everyone. My name is Victor Fadеев. I'm the product manager of Jmix, and I'm here today to speak about vibe coding in enterprise. Thank you very much for coming. Thank you for finding your time for such an interesting topic today. Hope that you will find it interesting, and I'll do my best to unveil this topic as much as I can and share the knowledge of our team with you about how to make the AI-assisted delivery in a more predictable way. Everything that I will explain and demonstrate today is based on the internal knowledge of our team and based on the conversation we are making with our customers worldwide and with the users who are early AI adopters. So basically, everything you will see in my today's presentation is based on those surveys and interviews. Okay. Yeah. First of all, I want to ask you whether you can see and hear me well. I would strongly recommend ask you to put something in the chat like plus or okay, fine, everything that can inspire me also to demonstrate that everything is working properly, basically. Yeah, one more remark. We found out today that sometimes my screen sharing is breaking the stream, and in advance I want to give you excuses for this inconvenience. Maybe I will make some fine-tuning of screen sharing during our today's webinar. Sorry for that in advance, okay? But I hope everything will be fine. I see that you send messages that everything is fine, and I think that we can start our today's story of our webinar. And before we start, you can find a survey in the chat. Please give us a glance about what's happening with your AI assisted software development in organizations to help us better understand the context with which we are working today. Okay. Let's start from the very beginning. First of all, I want to highlight that basically we can assume that AI assisted software delivery works already, and we see that those practices are becoming widely adopted because AI has already proven that it accelerates development. And what I can say even most, it accelerates coding. Yeah, so it definitely helps us to write code. And another fact that we see is that everyone is interested in AI and in AI practices, speaking about it. We see millions of articles in the internet telling us how to preserve AI agents properly, how to cook AI guidelines, and so on and so forth. But at the same time, we see that people are suffering from the lack of business outcomes. So they spend money and time on AI experiments, but tell that they cannot reach some tangible ROI after implementing those practices in their organizations. And what we see more is that in enterprise context, the situation is even harder because AI is not only about the coding performance, but it's also about control and predictability. Yeah, so and the question we hear loudly right now is how basically teams can turn AI development speed and productivity into some tangible business results. What can be the techniques which they can use to reach this goal? And this is the topic we are going to speak about today. Before we start, let's examine, or let's say overview a bit, what do we mean by speaking about AI development maturity, about the level of this maturity. Based on what we see in different organizations, we can identify 4 levels of maturity. Starting from the first one till the 4th one. The first one is, let's say, the most adult, yeah. So and the 4th one is the youngest one, yeah. And we can see only early adopters who are playing in this field. Starting from the implementing of ChatGPT style communications agents, bots, which helped us to write code with the reference to our code base and our knowledge base, powered by RAG functionality. Now most teams are playing with proactive code generation and auto completion of the code, like Copilot style tools. And others are playing with the AI agents, which are writing code based on the intent, based on the description of the result you want to get. And in this area, we see that 3 major techniques can be recognized. These are implementation of the AI agents as CLI agents, named command line interface when you interact with your agent in the terminal. One more thing is the IDE plugin. IDE plugin is a special tool which can be integrated inside the IDE of your choice. Should it be IntelliJ IDE, or should it be VS Code or something else? You can integrate this plugin, connect it with the LLM, and play with this agent via this media. And the last approach, which is also very popular recently, it's named AI First IDE, and the top popular representative of this class of agents is the Cursor IDE, which was totally rethinked and aligned with AI agentic development flow. The youngest and the most modern approach, orchestrated multi-agent development, means that you totally do not touch any IDs. You communicate with a lot of agents, and one agent orchestrating the whole flow across the smaller agents who are making some special work like writing specification, writing tests, writing code. Yeah, and they are working in collaboration. This is the youngest generation, the modern generation of agentic development. Based on what we see, we recognize that most of the companies are allocated now between the between the second and the third step. What does it mean? It means that practically, let's say 30% from 100% of all companies, they are standing with code generation and still write prompts in separate tools and then copy paste them into the code base, serving them with the context, connecting them with files. And others are working with the AI agents somehow integrated in the development environment. Should it be IDE or should it be pure CLI or terminal UI interface? It doesn't really matter. But what we see is that orchestrated multi-agent development is not very mature, and based on our investigations, less than 3% of all the development community, especially in the Java world, are using this technique. Yeah. Now, once again, I will share the screen. Yeah. That's it. Well, and why it happened this way? Yeah, so why do most companies are still standing in interacting with the chatbots? This happens because the question is scaling. So the question is how to spread this kind of development technique across the organization, and what does make them stand still, keep themselves frozen, is that vibe coding techniques which they can easily implement on their own, so using them at home, yeah, maybe on a separate workstations or development IDEs, they can be not working inside the enterprise ecosystem. Before we explain why does it happen this way, I want to give some internal description of what do we mean by vibe coding to avoid misunderstanding during our further presentation flow. But we mean by vibe coding, we mean that the development is done by describing the desired outcome, but not the step-by-step instructions. So that means that the developer tells the AI agent what should be built. Yeah? So what the description of the system. The recent naming for that is a specification of the system, and the most modern approach in this area is the specification-driven development, spec-driven development shortly. What are the distinctive features of this approach? First of all, is that it helps you to easily start a new project. So it is very helpful with Greenfield when a lot of things should be built from scratch, assembled together, bolted with together, yeah, and started working. So in this case, this is a perfect thing. Yeah. The second big outcome is that you do not need to write routine code. Yeah, so boilerplate code is eliminated with this technology because everything is written by AI agent, and he knows how to do that if you are building your product with the mainstream technology stack. And the third great impact is that it strongly improves the speed of delivering the prototypes, which is also very important for business cases when you need to test your idea before investing a lot of money in it. So in these cases, this works, but when it fails. First of all, it fails when the companies decide, enterprises decide to implement organizational efforts to spread vibe coding inside their companies, and they claim that now we put some targets or KPIs on writing code with the help of AI agents. So this is quite not a very wise thing to put such targets for the teams, because definitely writing more code with AI doesn't mean that you bring more business value. Those two aspects are not connected together, and what are the outcomes, what are the negative outcomes that can be carried out is that companies, they suffer from tons of unsupported code, which people cannot understand and even review because there's too many of that. Well, the second mistake companies are making is putting all the effort, all the attention to the tools, to the tools which help developers implementing those techniques. I mean, AI development techniques. They invest in heavily in adopting and purchasing frontier LLM models together with proprietary AI agents, and they want to get the desired solution. But it is not also there is not also unequal things. Yeah, so they are standing in opposite, because implementing only frontier LLM together with the AI agent doesn't mean that you will build a reliable thing, a reliable piece of software. Why does it happen this way? It happens this way because the communities, the professional community of developers, they assume the AI agent right now as an amplifier of the skills and knowledges which the distinctive developer has. Yeah, and if he has good knowledge, then he becomes extremely powerful. So he becomes 100%, maybe 10 times even more productive. But those guys and girls who are, let's say, do not have yet enough of those knowledge and expertise, they just step into abyss. And they do it with the same speed as the guys who have more knowledge. They're becoming more productive. And this is the bad trick and the trap, same time, which happens with teams trying to adopt these vibe coding techniques in the enterprise from scratch, without building the guardrails and without building the ecosystem around that. The reason behind that is that the result which the engineer gets by implementing the AI agentic development techniques definitely depends on the prompting, on what the engineer is asking for. Those things, they affect enterprises even more heavily. And there are several reasons behind that. The first reason is that in enterprises, we see often the frontier, or let's say public LLMs, are not accessible. So people do not have access to them. This happens because of some security options, regulations, restrictions for the personal data, additional privacy control, and those companies need to adopt open weight models that severely depend on the context, on the quality of the context. Also, security governance, which is typical for enterprises, imposes additional constraints on what you can put inside the prompt, what type of data you can put there. When we talk about enterprises, we usually meet quite complex technical landscapes where modern software is connected with legacy software. And as you may know, legacy software often has no documentation and no public APIs. And it's very hard for LLMs to identify how to work in connection with those legacy software. And this also brings additional uncertainties in implementing AI-driven techniques into development. The fourth thing is that in enterprise, everything teams are building is connected with the accountability, because it's the matter of cost. If the piece of software that the developer is writing with the AI-assisted tools makes wrong calculations, this is the accountability of this developer. Yeah. So what does it mean? It means that if this is very risky, if the developer assumes this is as very risky, it freezes the adoption of the AI tools until the moment somebody will explain that this is not so risky as he can think about that. And the last issue is that LLMs infrastructure and inference service, they're expensive. They cost money, and based on what you see what you see from news coming from the frontier vendors of agents and LLMs, the prices are going higher. I've heard that there are some thoughts that the prices will stabilize and it would go lower after some some level. But what we see now is that they're going higher. Okay. And what does it? What is the next negative step after those items companies meet? Companies meet that a lot of uncertainties slow down the AI adoption in those enterprises and stops innovations. And what's worse, sometimes they even create wrong stereotypes. We often hear from major seasoned developers that last year I've asked LLM to do something, and it was so stupid that I won't ever touch it. Yeah, so this usually means that first of all, the quality of context and the prompt was not appropriate. Yeah, and the second is that this guy doesn't know what was the evolution performed since he touched this instrument last time. Based on those problems and those issues companies meet with AI adoption, technical leaders usually ask the following questions. So they want to find answers on those questions to build a reliable way of AI adoption and bring in vibe coding practices into enterprise development. You can see those questions on the screen right now. And yeah, those questions are, let's say, the result of our internal service of the leaders in the development area, especially from the Java development field. Now what we provide, what we are going to unveil today is the approach which answers those questions, not 100%, but let's say 80% of those questions in the right way, decreasing the amount of uncertainty technical leaders can meet when they think about adopting the AI-assisted development in the enterprises. You can see 5 rules, let's say 5 statements that we bring with our tools and with our practices and recommend to implement in enterprise development if the IT leader faces those issues I've mentioned on the previous slide. I don't want to put in details in each of these items because I will make a breakdown of all of them in a more structured way to make you understand what's behind that, because we're speaking not only about names, wordings, and marketing stuff, but about the practical tools you can integrate into your daily operations to break the skepticism and break the uncertainties with AI adoption in the enterprise. To help you understand what we actually promote, I've made the following structure, which will help me to map all the parts of the tooling and the platform description into this mental matrix, which demonstrates what actually AI-assisted development, AI-controlled development mean. So first of all, I want to split the implementation area of the agentic development in three layers. In three layers. First of all, this is the layer of the baseline. The baseline is the model layer. So this is where the large language models live. And those large language models, they power up the AI agents themselves to make them running inside your development environment. Should it be the IDE or should it be the terminal UI? It doesn't really matter. So you need an LLM to make it working, to make it run. The next layer is the agent layer. So this is the layer where the AI agent lives by itself, because you may know that AI agent is a piece of software itself. So it's written with some language and frameworks, yeah, and it doesn't matter what type of AI agent you use. This is a special piece of software you need to install in the environment where you're working with. Should it be your local workstation or VPS running in the cloud? So it doesn't matter. You need to put this piece of software inside this container. And the application context layer is the most difficult one. This is the layer where all the data about the job, about the result you want to, about the job that should be done by the AI agent, or about the result, the solution you want to get after the after switching on the AI agent. Okay, after putting the task to him. So these three layers they demonstrate different types of software and tools that help you to build the thing called AI agentic pipeline inside your development. And I also split the whole sequence of software delivery into three phases. The first phase is writing the specification. I mentioned already today that it's becoming more important right now to write the correct, write better specification to get better results. The development itself, so it's where the AI agent together with the developer is writing the code, and the runtime. So this is where basically the result, your solution is running. And you may know that based on what business customers are asking right now, they demand to get AI agents also in the runtime of the applications. And the thing that I want to unveil today, to explain today, it covers all the areas and helps you to get a more predictable result using this bundle. Okay. In short, before I dive into details, I want to explain what actually our offering is providing. It provides three main values, three main pieces, which definitely influence the quality of the outcome after AI-assisted development implementation. The first thing is that the set of tools allow to enrich the context for the AI agent. This part is usually missing when companies decide to invest only into frontier models, LLM models, and into AI agents. Without bringing the right context, those things can still produce so they can produce messy code, with unsupported code. So you need to enrich context for your agentic workflow to get the predicted outcome. The second thing is the task to constrain actions, to limit the area in which the AI agent has the freedom. You may hear that AI agents with absolute freedom sometimes even manipulate with adopting the tests to make them pass, to make them green, if they have access to when they have the goal to reach their result. So they can manipulate with the test gates. This is a bad example of what AI agent without constraints can reach out. And the third aspect which we cover is protection of the system you built. Now, I've mentioned already that businesses, that enterprise customers want to get AI agents living inside the system itself. And it's also becoming very important to restrict the agent not only in the development phase, but also in the runtime environment where the AI agent is playing with real business data. So I think that business customers will be definitely confused if the AI agent will send unrestricted data to some competitors or to public spaces. So this is the worst thing that can happen. Okay, so how do we do that? How do we deliver that with the Jmix platform? The first point is that we do not interfere somehow the best practices which have been already established in the agentic development workspace. So that means that we do not want to replace the AI agent you've got used to or the LLM you want to implement. And we don't even put any constraints on you. Put any constraints on you. Whether should you use the public LLM model or some on-premise or open weight LLM model. So it doesn't really, it doesn't really break it doesn't really break the adoption of the Jmix platform and allow you to get the the anticipated result. So on the agent level, on the agent layer, we recommend to use CLI agent, and I will demonstrate you how this can be done in the further slides. Yeah, and here you can use every agent you prefer most. These can be open source agents, open code, killer code, quencoder, or these can be proprietary tools like Codex, Cloud Code, or something that is that you prefer in your area where you are living and where you're working at. And the same thing, it's and the same thing is basically works with the LLMs. So you can use public frontier models or hybrid approach, where you can use some models running on premise and some models running in the cloud, if this allows you to spend less tokens. Okay, so this is the baseline. Yeah, so there is nothing new here. Those things should be enabled, should be adopted to step into controlled AI development. What we bring onto the table, the first thing which we bring with Jmix is the Jmix AI assistant. This is a separate piece of software which helps you to write specifications, and what's most important, it helps you to write specifications not only by developers but also by the analysts. What is the uniqueness of this tooling? The uniqueness of this tooling is that it already has everything baked in its application context layer. So what does it mean? It means that the Jmix AI assistant has already been connected with the set of the documentation about Jmix itself as the framework. It has been already enriched with the training materials, which demonstrate how to follow best practices in development with Jmix in different aspects. Should it be data layer, should it be service layer, or should it be UI layer? And what's most important is that it includes also the UI samples, which demonstrate the exact portions of code and recommendations of how to make typical scenarios of building enterprise systems. And all these things are connected to this Jmix AI assistant, helping analysts and developers to get good specifications. Yeah, so they just need to explain what they want to get, and Jmix AI assistant will allow them to get good spec. One more uniqueness point of the Jmix AI assistant is that it is working both as the web application, so accessible for analysts or even for the business audience, and the same AI assistant is working inside the development environment with which developer is working, and thus the developer can start working with the AI assistant in the web together with the analyst and continue working with this AI assistant in the IDE environment. So without breaking the workflow of preparing the good specification. In the development aspect, in the development phase of the AI assisted workflow, Jmix brings the platform itself. This is the first unique point. Jmix is a platform consisting of including one major part named Jmix framework, which imposes conventions and which imposes architectural style. And what's more, it is perfectly documented. Yeah. The next thing is that it brings the platform, what we call platform-aware context, because when the first the skeleton of the project with the Jmix was initialized, the agent starts understanding the context of the project. So it understands where is the data, where are the view the user use, where the permission description, how those things are structured, and what are the ways to continue developing this project. But this is not the only good thing which we bring with the Jmix into the development phase of the whole workflow of the development lifecycle. We also bring the Jmix Studio. In the past, Jmix Studio was used for developers to help them eliminate boilerplate code and generate snippets inside their projects aligned with the Jmix framework conventions. But in the modern world, we revert Jmix Studio to the AI agent as the first-class citizen. Why it is so important now to implement Jmix Studio when you implement AI-assisted development with Jmix? The reason behind that is that Jmix Studio keeps a great amount of formal deterministic rules about how to write the proper code, yeah, on Jmix. And how does this work when the developer is writing code with the AI agent? The developer asks the AI agent to write the code according to the spec. And when this is done, the Jmix Studio instantly checks the quality of this code and sends the errors about what was wrong with writing this code for the Jmix for the AI agent via the MCP of the IDE. Thanks God, we have a great tool which is supplied with the JetBrains ID, in which we are working with Jmix Studio and with which we recommend working with the Jmix itself. Its name is the JetBrains MCP server. So when this MCP server is configured, it sees all the mistakes detected by the Jmix Studio, and this is the way how your AI agent you are implementing in your project instantly knows what's wrong with the code it wrote. Yeah. So and this speeds up the iterations, because you don't need to wait until your code base will fail when reaching the tests, or when your code base will fail when you reach the compile stage. You'll see it instantly while writing the code. Yeah. So the AI agent reduces the time needed. It reduces the time needed for AI agent to make the corrections of the code on the fly, without postponing the moment this project will break down. Okay, and what's more important, I've mentioned already that Jmix has a huge documentation base, and to allow agents to work with this documentation base as good as for developers, we put this documentation inside the most popular service, MCP service for AI agents called Context 7. So the full repository of the documentation is up to date and is stored in Context 7. And if you connect your AI agent with this documentation, it can look up some special and corner cases when he finds it difficult to write things. And to finalize this stage, to enrich this stage, and to avoid you from writing your special skills for the agent to work with Jmix, we also provided as out of the box with AI guidelines, or we call them Jmix skills, which we continuously update following the release cadence of the Jmix framework. It is publicly, it is free. You can find it on GitHub or in the links with the articles describing the best practices of implementing AI agentic things in the notes in the bottom of this video. So you will find the useful links there. So this is what we bring in the development area. And as for the last stage of the development workflow, the runtime, we also bring valuable things in this area. And these things are mostly abstractions. First of all, these are abstractions for the data and for the security. Why it is so important? It is important because it allows AI tools, which we also bring out of the box for free inside the runtime, find out what is the data model with which the AI agent should manipulate based on the requests coming from the end user, and what are the permissions with what the AI agent can retrieve the data. And we find it very useful that these security rules, they are implemented automatically when the Jmix agent retrieves the data on behalf of the user. So you don't need to rethink or reinvent this security layer if you want to integrate AI agentic behavior inside your runtime, inside the runtime of the business application. You get it immediately out of the box with everything served as Jmix add-ons. And one of the most useful add-ons should be Jmix AI Tools, which should be presented in Jmix 3.0 release at the end of this month. So you will be able to download it and to play with it. I will show further how this thing look like. What's more, you get low-code capabilities for your end users who can modify the project you've built according to their needs without entering the code base. And this is also a great thing that you can take as it is without reinventing it or spending tokens on writing this kind of functionality. When we go up and make some helicopter view of what Jmix brings into this space, now we can assume that Jmix definitely doesn't replace the agent or the model. We see no reason to bring you some special agents working with Jmix or some special models working with Jmix. Only one case is useful, but I will uncover it a little bit later with the special LLM. But right now, it works with everything you can get, with everything you've got used to. But it definitely pushes the application context to another level, given the existing AI agent of the AI agent you want to adopt inside your enterprise environment with the needed information about how to work, how to manipulate with data, and how to write code within the architectural guidelines. So you get these things assembled and bolted in the right way to get the predictable result. Let's jump a little bit into details. How does this look like on this screen? You can see how basically the AI assistant looks like. This is the AI assistant as a web application. You can access it if you go to the Jmix.io website. You will find out the link to the AI assistant in the platform section of the top menu. You can access it. You do not need any registration. You can talk with the Jmix AI assistant about your use case, and will give you 10 free questions without registration. If you register with within our Jmix store, you will get access to 100 free questions per month. So you can use it absolutely free to prepare a specification for your next project. And as I've mentioned, this is the window, how it looks like inside the IDE. This is the chat window, which allows you to continue the conversation with the AI assistant directly in the IDE, inside the development environment. What basically Jmix AI assistant is, it's the platform-aware RAG assistant, which is focused on helping the analysts and developers to capture the requirements about your project and turn them into specifications. It definitely helps you to shape the solution architecture following the Jmix knowledge and the project context. And you do not need to invent new tools for your analysts, so you can take it as it is. It definitely also speeds up the onboarding of the developers who are just entering the space of Jmix. On this slide, you can see how the agentic tools working inside the IDE looks like. On this slide, you can see the IDE. This is the IntelliJ IDE, and I've built, let's say, my personal best practices to split the window, the whole workspace of the IDE in 3 sections. In the left section, I observe the whole project tree in a semantic way, within semantic data. Where is the data? Where are the views? Where are the permission? And I can navigate across the project easily. Yeah, so this is a more simple way for me. It is more natural way for a human. Yeah, because I do not use grep commands to find the right file. So it's much more easier for me to navigate this project tree than just writing something in the terminal. This section serves the developer more than the AI agent. The second section demonstrates the code or the preview of the views, which is provided by the Jmix Studio also. And the third section demonstrates the open code terminal, terminal window, which is open inside my IDE, connected with all the MCPs needed to run this AI agent properly, following the Jmix guidelines. So you can see that all MCPs are connected. And I have got good news for you. Since Jmix 3.0, which will be issued, which will be published by the end of June, you won't need to connect all these MCP tools by your own. Jmix Studio will do everything automatically just by clicking configure my workspace, and that's done. So this is the great news for everyone who want to enter this technology space, because sometimes configuring and assembling all these MCP tools take time. Sometimes it's several hours, and this really annoying thing, when you want to start writing something and you need to spend hours on assembling all this stuff. So now what is the uniqueness of the Jmix Studio in collaboration with the AI agent? The uniqueness of this collaboration is that Jmix Studio working on formal rules, on deterministic logic, checks on the fly what is written by the AI agent, and sends all the information about the errors it made via the JetBrains MCP. And this allows the AI agent to make the corrections on the fly without pushing it forward on the stage of tests or on the stage of compiling. So you get a clear code base, and what's most important, it follows the architectural guidelines, which we already prepared for you for free. And the last thing is the runtime, the application runtime. And here I demonstrate the view of the free B2B CRM demo project, which is also available on our website. You can access the jmix.io website, go to the demo applications, and enter this great application. And inside this application, we demonstrate the CRM AI tool, which is powered by AI Tools add-on, which can be connected to your project also. And it allows you to get such great AI-enabled functionalities as text to data, for example. So this functionality allows you to talk with the data of the application, but this is not as simple as you can think about it. First of all, you can see in the chat that it returns the data not only the plain text, but also as the deep links. So it demonstrates some customer details URLs, which you can just click and go directly to the path, to the road, which is connected to them with this entity and demonstrating the details of this entity. The second thing is that this AI chat is connected with the security layer. So that means that if, for example, the user with a supervisor or with manager roles accesses this application and asks the data about sales, he can get all the data about all managers. But if some sales manager working in some special field, in some special area, asks the same question, the security layer will return only the records which are allowed for him, so connected to his area. And this will be done without any additional manipulations, without any additional lines of code needed. It just, you can get it out of the box, working automatically without thinking and managing all these things. So this is totally secured by what Jmix team provides you with. Okay, so basically what we deliver runtime level AI capabilities inside your business applications, and those AI tools as add-ons, they can be embedded into your Jmix application to show some real business workflows for your end customers. And what's more, your business users can feel safety when they put their requests to this AI agent, because they won't get restricted data, or they won't send this data somewhere where what is forbidden. Okay. This doesn't mean that you cannot do this by your own. So you can do this definitely by your own, writing all these things along with our recommendations, which we suggest you to follow. So you can do in the specification stage your own architectural patterns. You can describe some reference implementations for your code styles and for your architectural guidelines. You can implement developer onboarding tools to allow newcomers to get into the project faster. In the development phase, you should do some project conventions description to guide your AI agent to follow the right architectural practices, the architectural guidelines. You need to build quality rules or quality gates, sometimes people are calling them. You need to define project-specific skills for your technology stack. And as for the runtime, you need to build your own abstractions to make the AI agent identify the data model. If you are building data-intensive applications, which are mostly the best option for Jmix, you should write your own low-code tools to deliver demanded capabilities for your end users. And you can bring some reusable business models, not spending the tokens several times for the same functionality for your end users. So you can do everything by your own for sure and get the same results. But what you should be aware of is that first time you define and configure all these things, but next time you should continuously evaluate this, because LLMs and AI agents are evolving. So once a month we get some new news, some new idea, some new LLM model or some new generation of the AI agent, which works better than the previous one. And when you adopt this AI agent, you need to test all the environment which you've built to bring better context to your AI controlled environment with this new model. And then you need to maintain this for sure, because sometimes this can be just failed. For those of you who think that things can be much more simpler than I demonstrate to you, and that I'm scared, I'm putting some additional problems into this space, I should say that we are not the guys, we are not the team who are bringing AI magic. Just as an example, I'm demonstrating on this slide a recent, just yesterday when I prepared for our today's webinar, I received an update from my Medium digest demonstrating me the first line with the notice of a single CloudMD file went viral and it does everything. So this is bullshit, basically. So it just doesn't work, especially in the enterprise area. So you need to build all these things all together to put the context, or the business context of the project you are working with. So it cannot be covered by one project rule file. So don't believe that. And we insist that the good results is in terms of the solution you've built, is the result of pure AI engineering. So it cannot be done by one MD file with good instructions, okay? As for the economical aspects of agentic development, to touch this area slightly, to give you an overview about what kind of investments and the outcome you can get with while adopting the AI development, AI assisted development in your environment. I want you to give some figures which we reached by our team and which we see our custom solutions is receiving after implementing those techniques, those practices. I mean Jmix techniques, okay, along with the AI agents. First of all, let's speak about the value. The value we recognize is that it definitely speeds up the delivery up to 3-4 times faster. So I mean by delivery, I mean the time needed from the idea until the first release of the software was delivered. So this is really great, yeah, in terms of what can be achieved. The second great value is that one engineer becomes the team, definitely. For a long time, this was a slogan for Jmix, but now together with the AI agent, this becomes absolutely true, and there are no concerns along the developer community that there are some mistakes behind this statement. So definitely 1 or 2 engineers can build the whole solution. And for sure, this is great for fast hypothesis testing, or if you are working in a custom development area for building prototypes for your end customers. This allows you to attract better interest because you spend minimum time and tokens on delivering first piece of software demonstrating how does the idea of your customer looks like. In terms of investments, this is a different story because it definitely depends on what you allowed to use, to implement, what kind of tools are you allowed to implement within your infrastructure, within your development environment. The perfect situation is when you are allowed to use public frontier models. Then we recommend, we assume that Claude Code Max or analog subscription Max 5x is enough. This is something that allows 5 hours of continuous work with the AI agent, and its cost is public. It's something around 1,200 per year per developer. So this is enough to start working with the whole bundle, because everything I've talked about today in regard to what Jmix gives to you, including AI assistant, studio, skills, AI tools, they're absolutely free. So in connection with the Claude Code subscription or similar one, which you've got used to adopt, this is a great thing that allows you to reach those values practically without wondering should it work or not. In terms of those teams who have restrictions on implementing public services, or who want better privacy for their software delivery workflows, they can go to on-premise or hybrid approaches. What do I mean by hybrid approaches? I mean that you can purchase the GPU units from your cloud provider and make the inference service and LLM deployment by your own. In the investment section, you can see the recommendations for the GPU units and the cost and the cost estimation for this kind of the inference, if you want to go this way. So you can see that it's not very cheap. So it's, I should even say more, it's quite expensive, but privacy costs money. Yeah. So, and if you want to get an isolated environment for the whole AI assisted development, which is practically the best way to control everything from writing the prod to getting the solution, this is the price to get the same value. So it does mean that the value can be different. So you will get the same value, but you will get an additional thing on top, which is the privacy. So we will not send a piece of information anywhere. And what actually our team is doing, our team helps teams who want to get better privacy, build this installation and configure everything to make it up and running in the isolated environment. Let's wrap up a bit. We are coming to the end of my today's presentation, and I want to highlight where does Jmix with the AI agent as a part of AI-controlled development brings the most value, delivers the most value. First of all, number one position is the situation when the teams are limited in using frontier models. So what does it mean? It means that for some reasons you have restrictions on sending your data, your code, or the data about your customer somewhere. So you need to secure everything within your isolated environment. And in this case, Jmix is the must because even when working with the weak LLM models, it gives you tangible results. What do I mean by weak models? We recommend to start working with the LLMs from 230 billion parameters class. So this is the, let's say, the recommended baseline for implementing AI agents together with the Jmix platform and everything we bring as the AI assisted development platform. But in some cases, you can go lower, and we put a goal for our engineering team to make it running on 40 billion parameter LLM. So this quite not a big one, but not small, not yet big, so it's medium. Yeah, but this is it looks viable in some cases to work even with such small LLMs together with Jmix. Why does it work, basically? It works because Jmix is an opinionated framework, so it has a lot of restrictions and good documentation that helps even medium LLM models write reasonable code. Yeah, so this is really great. This is what Jmix does, and we will definitely invest in bringing less footprint in bringing LLMs with less footprint working together with Jmix. We see a sweet spot for Jmix implementation. The second position, the second good position for implemented Jmix together with the AI agent is when you are willing to build controlled AI development environment. So if you want to get everything in isolated mode, and you need to build a lot of internal systems. Yeah, so in this case, Jmix as an open source tool, together with open source AI agents, allows you to build everything internally. And if you have resources, you can assemble everything inside your enterprise infrastructure and do not expose any token, any piece of data anywhere. And the third situation is when you are building some products, some enterprise products, so you are basically creators of those products, and you want to reduce your effort on reinventing the platform itself and reinventing the AI enablers for your final products. You can just get Jmix, where all the things across your workflow, across your development and delivery workflow are already prepared. So you will find an AI assistant already because it knows about Jmix. And if you put some additional data inside it about your project, it will help your customers build the specs to modify your product. Yeah. So it has everything working with baseline AI agents and LLMs together with skills provided by the vendor, and you have the runtime prepared configuration where you can be sure that your data is secured and your end users can feel themselves safe. Yeah, and they can even modify the application in runtime in low-code style without your additional effort on inventing those capabilities. So these are basically three scenarios where Jmix, together with the AI agent, is the must-have in the AI-controlled workflow, development workflow. And so let's sum up a bit. Jmix definitely helps teams turn AI system development into predictable delivery. So you can be assured that by implementing this sequence of tools together, you will return your investments on building the AI-enabled products with agentic development practices. What are the next steps do we recommend for everyone who had enough attention, and found my today's webinar and presentation interesting? We can recommend the following steps. So first of all, you can look at your backlog and find out 1-2 scenarios with a clear business use case and clear ROI, which you postponed for some reasons and didn't implement for a long time. These are good examples with which you can practice with this workflow I'm demonstrating today. Then you can book a workshop where our trainer can demonstrate how controlled AI development with Jmix look like. I do not want to spend your time right now demonstrating all the moving parts, but this can be done just like face-to-face as a conference call. Yeah, and you can estimate how this really can impact your productivity and the productivity of your product team. Okay, sorry, I see that it doesn't share the screen. Once again, then you can bring those practices to your own development environment, because most of those tools, they are for free, so they do not cost any money, except the inference service and the AI agents if you are using the frontier LLM models. And after implementation, you can validate the result and make decision about scaling those practices inside your enterprise environments. And we are the team who can definitely help you along this way. and highlight difficult milestones which can impose some risks and help you eliminate those risks. That's all for today. I see that 60 minutes passed. Yeah, and I'm ready for answering the questions if you have got any in the chat. Okay. Yeah, I'm looking at the chat. Okay. Gabriel just saw Plasma one has 10% back on cloud spend for 3 days. Could be handy if you're trying code Mythos. So there are some additional recommendations I see here. Okay. I see the results of the surveys today. Let's check the results. So the first question was, how is your organization currently using AI-assisted software development? And there are two leaders here in the survey. The first one is very actively integrating AI. It has 42%, and we use individual tools. It's 33%. So that means that approximately 80% are using AI tools as integrated one or individual tools. That's great. So it definitely matches the result of our internal survey I've demonstrated in the beginning of our today's webinar. Okay, so and the second question is, how familiar are you with Jmix? I have quite a lot of experience. I see that more than 60% of our today's attendees have experience in Jmix, so it's great that you can see how we recommend to cook Jmix together with the AI tools to get better results, and hope that you will be the ones who will test our tools as soon as they will come out. Yeah, so first of all, I'm speaking about the Jmix AI tools add-on, which will come in Jmix 3.0, and it will bring the LLM chat window into your application. So everything you will need is to connect it with your LLM provider to make it start working, and it will start working with your data model right in your Jmix application. So that's great. Just plug and play, and you've got an AI capability working under your security layer. That's great. And there will be one more thing which will bring you the dynamic data model inside your Jmix application runtime, allowing to enrich the data model inside your application on the fly. So this will be also powered up with AI agent as a part of Jmix AI tools in September, and this will transform Jmix runtime into really pure low-code AI-driven low-code, where you can design the data model, the UI screens, the permissions, everything in runtime without even accessing the development environment. Okay, so I see the question. There is a plan to make assistant Jmix as a public MCP. Yet there is no plan for that because it almost serves the needs of the humans. So it helps humans to write the specification despite AI agents, because AI agents are using the same stuff via Context 7 service. So it looks like that building MCP on top of AI assistant will not bring too much value for the AI agent because it already has the skills, it already has the Jmix Studio checks, and it already has the Context 7 MCP documentation. So that looks like enough. Yeah, and I've mentioned during my today's webinar that when I say that you change the AI agent or the LLM because a new piece of AI software appeared in the market, you need to evaluate that. And that's what we are doing. We have the internal evaluation bench where we test everything against different LLMs and AI agents and examine which types of the publicly available either open source or proprietary are working good or worse with Jmix. And maybe in autumn, we will make these results of our internal test bench public, to allow you easier find the right piece of AI agentic stuff for your project. Yeah, so but we already do that. Yeah, so this is not a public piece of our work, but we already built the test environment for checking the results of implementation those AI agent stuff and the LLMs. Yeah, and when I say that we recommend this or that, that means that we've seen it on results on our test bench. Yeah, and this is why I recommend to use these or those tools to you. Yeah, I want to make it public because yes, I think that those things should be explicit. Yeah, to make you better assured what technologies serve you better. Yeah, if you liked this stream, please put likes in the bottom of this video. Yeah, so leave comments for sure. If you had some questions and you didn't find time to below this video also, and I will try to answer them. Yeah, that's basically all for tomorrow. Sorry for inconvenience with sharing my screen. I hope that we will fix that next time to avoid this inconvenience. Thank you for listening, and see you next time on our next webinar. I suppose that will be related to Jmix 3.0 release. This will be a great thing, so don't forget to subscribe on our channel, and this will make you not miss any item of recent news coming from our team. Yeah, thank you very much. See you. Bye-bye.